So let's talk about Intel's new chip, Panther Lake. And look, this isn't just another yearly upgrade. No, this is a massive bet on the future of the AI PC, and it's a really bold move by the original tech giant to redefine its place in what has become a fiercely competitive market.
So, that really brings us to the big question, right? The one on everyone's mind. With rivals like Qualcomm and AMD making these huge strides, can Intel, the company that started it all, truly reclaim its crown in this new AI PC era?
Okay, so to really get why Panther Lake is such a massive deal, we've got to set the stage a bit. We need to look at the whole story of Intel's high-stakes comeback.
Now, you might remember their last chip, Lunar Lake. It was a huge step forward in power efficiency. I mean, it finally gave traditional laptops the kind of battery life that could actually compete, but, and there's always a but, it came at a cost. They had to trade away some of that multi-threaded performance, and that left the door wide open for their rivals.
And this is what that battlefield looked like. You had Intel's Lunar Lake, the king of power efficiency. Then you had Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite, which was all about incredible performance per watt over the long haul. And of course, AMD's Ryzen AI 300 series was just a beast for those really heavy workloads. See the problem? Each rival had carved out their own turf, and Intel needed a single chip that could fight back on all of those fronts.
So where does Intel's answer begin? Well, it starts deep, deep down in the silicon itself. We're talking about their secret weapon, a totally revolutionary manufacturing process they call 18A. And get this, it's built right here in the USA.
And let's be clear, 18A is not just some small incremental improvement. No way. This is the first 2-nanometer class process developed and manufactured in the United States. We're talking about a monumental leap in semiconductor tech. It's really the foundation for their entire strategy going forward.
So, what makes 18A so special? Well, it's more than just shrinking things down. It introduces two totally groundbreaking technologies. First up is RibbonFET. This is a brand new transistor architecture, their first in over a decade, designed for way faster and more efficient switching. Then you have PowerVia. This is the real game changer. It delivers power from the back side of the chip. Think of it like building a skyscraper with all the plumbing and electrical wiring hidden in a separate service layer instead of inside the walls. It just frees everything up and dramatically improves performance. So what's the payoff for all that incredible engineering? Well, here it is. Intel 18A delivers up to a 15% boost in performance for every single watt you use compared to the last generation. In the world of chips, that is a massive gain in efficiency.
All right, so with that incredibly powerful 18A foundation in place, it's time to meet the star of the show, the Panther Lake chip itself.
The whole goal with Panther Lake is to fix that imbalance we talked about earlier. They're trying to take the amazing power efficiency they achieved with Lunar Lake and combine it with the raw, high-end performance of their other architecture, Arrow Lake. The idea is to create one single, scalable chip that really does give you the best of both worlds.
So let's take a look under the hood. The architecture is all new. You've got the P cores, or performance cores, that are optimized for those really demanding single-thread tasks. Then you have the E cores, the efficiency cores, that handle all the multi-threaded stuff in the background. But the big news might be the integrated graphics, a huge boost with the new Z3 architecture. And the key is how it all works together, as what they call an XPU, a system that intelligently uses the CPU, the GPU, and a dedicated NPU, or neural processing unit, to speed up AI tasks. And here's the headline number Intel is throwing around: a performance leap of over 50%. And that's not just for the CPU, but for the graphics too, compared to the last generation. Now look, if those numbers actually hold up in the real world, this is going to be an absolute game changer for things like gaming and video editing on those super thin and light laptops. Now for the AI side of things, the whole platform delivers a pretty staggering 180 TOPS, and TOPS just stands for trillion operations per second. It's how we measure AI horsepower. Now what's interesting is how they get there. The dedicated NPU kicks in 50 TOPS, which is great, but the new integrated GPU does the real heavy lifting, contributing a massive 120 TOPS. It's a pretty different approach to AI acceleration than what some of the competition is doing.
But you know, Intel's ambition here is way bigger than just one laptop chip. This is about something much grander. This is about building an entire end-to-end AI supply chain right here in the United States.
So that same core 18A technology that's powering Panther Lake?
Well, it's also being scaled way up for massive data centers. The new Clearwater Forest Xeon server chip is going to feature up to 288 high-efficiency cores. This just shows you the sheer breadth of Intel's strategy.
And this is how they're doing it. Intel's whole Made in America strategy creates this technologically independent supply chain. You've got advanced R&D happening in Oregon, the high-volume manufacturing in a brand new fab in Arizona, and then the advanced packaging in New Mexico. Look, this isn't just about logistics. In today's world, this is a really profound statement on technological sovereignty, especially in such a competitive global landscape.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. What does all of this actually mean for, say, the next laptop you go out and buy? And what does it signal for the future of this whole AI PC race?
Well, here's the timeline to keep in mind. High-volume production is slated to kick off in late 2025. The very first ships will start shipping to laptop makers by the end of that year, and then you can expect a big public launch at CES in January 2026. So, you should start seeing devices with Panther Lake on store shelves not long after that.
And you know, it's not just us saying this. A really respected industry analyst, Ryan Schrute, kind of captures the whole feeling around this launch. He said, Panther Lake feels like Intel's most confident design in years. It reflects a company that's once again engineering for the right reasons. That really suggests this could be a major turning point for the company, getting back to its roots.
So, at the end of the day, Panther Lake is Intel's big bet. It feels like a real return to fundamental engineering and manufacturing leadership, but their competitors aren't just standing still, are they? They're pushing forward relentlessly. Which leaves us with the big question. In this incredibly heated race for AI supremacy, is this bet big enough to win? It looks like the stage is set for a fascinating battle in 2026.